last but not least, Dowshan Humzah is a strategist, growth catalyst, and a communication consultant. I know I keep saying that and you don't like it, but you're brilliant. Your comms is brilliant, and you've got the, you're lucky because you've heard what everyone has said, and you can give your perspective. And one of the things I guess I'm going to ask you is, have Muslims got it right or wrong on communications? What can we do better? I mean, I look at reform, and there's a few MPs, and they're just everywhere, and I do think that media gives them a disproportionate amount of attention. But they've got the comms working for them. I don't know, is there anything we could learn from there? So over to you. I'm sure you've got plenty to say.
Thank you, that's just coherent. Thank you for having me. I have 3 points, or 3 themes: basic needs, representation, and then the big picture, of which narrative is part of. But I'll come back to those 3 themes, given what I've heard from everybody here. And I think the starting point of what people are saying can be linked to one word: the word about. The media doesn't tell you what to think. So you might think and watch adverts, but the media does tell you what to think about. About is the most important word here. It's framing. So I'm going to take the question and answer it on the third aspect of the big picture. What does the media tell you to think about? How are they able to talk, to Bilal's point, about a certain incident, but yet marginalise an incident only 2 weeks ago? You're made to think about something. The importance is diminished. Just talk to the Lib Dems with their 70 MPs. You're not thinking about them, but we're here talking about reform with, I don't know, is it 5 MPs or has he lost 40% of them? I don't know. So the media tells you what to think about. Creators, like you, Sabina, are important because you're a voice against that mass media. So I'll cover on the big picture, but first, I guess it's worth reflecting on what we have here. Barrows Go Here, Muslim Women Network, the board and the team, massive congratulations. We're here in Parliament, deeds, not words. We often hear words. We have award ceremonies. We have too many organisations being set up, a lack of collaboration. Deeds, not words. Congratulations, deeds. You've set up something, you've launched something. We're on that journey. I've worked with Jason McCall before, in various roles. We're on that journey of awareness building. From a commercial perspective, awareness, trial, purchase. Same model here. Awareness, reporting, action, prosecution. And we're hearing some great stats today that I certainly didn't know about. But those stats give us confidence, and we need to get those stats out there, reliable. But Will, what you said about sharing conversations, poster sites are fantastic. We know the power of output, we know the power of media and what we think about. Your support is phenomenal here with Muslim Safety Net to have those conversations. And where else do we have those conversations but online as well? So Bilal, when you talk about your time in Bolton, how you're treated differently, you don't see that for your children. Do you have daughters, by the way?
Yeah, 2.
Are they into K-pop demon hunters?
Yes.
So you're going through what I'm going through in the dance moves?
Yes.
Yes, we all are, yeah? And I'm not going to dance. But we don't want our children, our daughters, our sons to experience that. We're on the 3rd, 4th, 5th generation. The narrative has to change. That's the key thing. Of course, we need the basics to be in place. We need representation, but the narrative, big picture, has to change. That is what we, collective we, the royal we, have not done well, particularly at the start. And I will share something from the 80s, so to look forward, I will go back. But just to give credit to all of you for sharing your stories. Bilal, again, as Lionel was saying, the lived experience is critical more than any quantitative data that I give credit to Lionel and obviously Alex for the data they share. It is the lived experience that shapes perceptions and changes behaviour. So the fact that yourself, Sahir, Sabina and Ian, running late, are part of this campaign is a massive privilege. I give credit to you guys for sharing stories. Sabina, you said turning the other cheek. We've been doing it for too long. We need to be on the front foot. You were right when you credited barriers go here with Muslim Heritage Month. There is a lot for us to be proud of. Whether you're a Liverpool fan, you know what I'm talking about, or whether you go back to the times of King Offa's Diner in 776 AD, the gold coin in 776 AD that had the Islamic proclamation of faith, the Shahada, written in Arabic on the back. It showed that we, British, English, Mercia, were trading back then. We have a great heritage, and your Muslim Heritage Month brings that to the fore as well. So here, you gave us your experiences from Cardiff. I was praying that you'd speak in Welsh as well, because I love that story where a Muslim woman was speaking in Welsh, and somebody told her to F off and go back to your own country. She replied politely back in Welsh. It is a national language here in the UK. Yeah. But your experiences of being treated differently, of hearing that go back, that has to change. You're talking about 5 generations, so we have to change the messaging as well. Ian's beautiful poetry that was so eloquently butchered by Baroness Goyer, but the beautiful poem that she wrote, that she typed up. We are not guests in this country, we are this country. And I'm saying we are this country, I'm going to share something, which may surprise certainly the younger folk in the audience. I think most people here are younger than me. So, Lionel, Alex, thank you again. We need confidence when we report. We need confidence when CPS gets files, that we know there's going to be a prosecution. The 2 most important words in business I use, and they are polite, are so what. If I've been a victim, I need to have confidence in the so what of reporting. I'll be taken seriously. My story matters too. Your story matters too. Because too often, there's underestimated communities, be it women who are disproportionately affected here, women who dress differently, maybe wearing hijab, men that have long beard, ethnic minorities. We do not believe our story matters, but our story matters too, and that's the beauty of this campaign. So thank you again for sharing those stats. Let me go back to those basic needs quickly. The basic needs, we need to be fed, we need to be healthy. We know from the NHS, 20 core plus 5 initiatives, ethnic minorities, the Muslim community is disproportionately affected by health. That matters. We know from housing legislation, try getting a rental as a Muslim, as there's an intersection here, as Lionel says, as an ethnic minority, you're disproportionately affected. We know from the hate crime statistics that as ethnic minorities and as Muslims, you are disproportionately affected, which is why we need great reporting mechanisms, simple reporting mechanisms, and confidence in the process. So that's basic needs. So 3 points. Number 2, representation. Representation shapes policy. You should not be allowed to go out on the streets to find employment, to go to university, to go to college, for your children to go to whether it's religious school or primary school. That should not be the case. We need more people in positions, more people like us, in terms of the way we think, how open we are to embrace that and drive change. Representation shapes policy. Great place to be saying that here in Parliament. Representation shapes policy. The big picture, the narrative. Absolutely, we need initiatives like Muslim Heritage Month to celebrate the, can't do the maths here, 1,500 years of impact Muslims have in the UK. If anyone wants to see that coin, there's one coin, it's at the British Museum, it was last displayed on their Silk Route exhibition over the summer. You'll see King Offa's Diner and the Shahada on the back of the coin. We have to reframe the narrative. Now to look forward, I said, I'll do this, ask a question. We need to look back. Who remembers the 1980s here? Right, put your hands up. Yeah, there are a few of us old enough. In the 1980s, a certain media being TV channel, newspaper, a certain media said this community is the most British of British communities? 2 questions. Which community were they referring to? And what media could it be? Feel free to shout out an answer. I'm looking at you, son.
I can't remember now.
You weren't born in the 80s, okay. I'll save you.
Thanks for the compliment.
It was the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail in the 1980s, it's the actual copy, okay? The Daily Mail in the 1980s said, Britons with faith in themselves starts today the first major analysis of the 1.5 million Muslims in this country. Now to speak to the Home Secretary, that number's gone up a fair bit in over 40 years. Their views on sex, yes, work, religion, and I quote, what the rest of us can learn from them. Okay? This was 4 double-page spreads in the Daily Mail. It's there. Okay? Daily Mail. Any Daily Mail readers in the house? No one's admitting it. Okay. If I just read a bit of the first paragraph from the first day. Devout, hardworking, disciplined, they have all the qualities that made us a great nation. There are people in Britain who are happy to work 14 hours a day, who abhor sex before marriage, this is 1980s, yeah, who dedicate themselves to family life, and who are totally committed to the moral code of their ancient religion. These people embody many of the old-fashioned values which helped to forge this country's greatness. They are the new traditionalists, the 1.5 million Muslims who have made their home in Britain. But personally, they are what was once typically British. In this major investigative series, the first of its kind ever published by a British newspaper, the Daily Mail set out to examine their convictions and motivation. We spent several months interviewing Muslims around the country from all walks of life. Our research not only makes compulsive reading, it prompts the single question. In the 1980s, are they more British than the British?
So how can we get the Daily Mail to write an article like that again?
Well, that's
Can you persuade them?
The difficulty it took to get that, even from the Daily Mail, is very telling of the times that we live in. What's interesting, if I may, is that was the first page, the first double-page spread. They did 4. Day 2, macho world of the devout capitalists. Recognise a certain MP from Glasgow there. Day 3, I love this one, passion and the models of proprietary. The Muslim James Bond guy, who works for a certain organisation, yeah, and a Muslim doctor and a sister and a religious school. Day 2. Sorry, Day 3. Day 4, caught in the culture crossfire, which featured Bradford Grammar School. 4 double-page spreads in the 1980s, and we're wasting time with so many organisations here, and we just have to look at the narrative, deeds not words, convince people that we have to reframe the narrative around British Muslims. If the Daily Mail could do it in the 1980s, just give the GB News and Daily Express today. The important thing is the very last paragraph in here. In those respects, at least, we must hope that they, the Muslims, change us, not us them. If you ever think, well, in your world of media, you get the Daily Mail giving you a quote like that.
That's really insightful, and thank you for sharing that. I think for the Daily Mail as well. So I think that's what we need. I think there needs to be a more comms piece. I think the Muslim communities changing the narrative. I mean, every time I speak to Dowshan about ideas and we're exchanging views all the time, it always says to me, so what? I've actually now started to say that as well, and that's probably a takeaway here, that when we're doing something, an initiative or working together, we need to probably, even politicians, what we should be saying to ourselves is, so what? Now what we're going to do is open up to questions. questions and comments, if you can be concise on what you've heard. Who wants to go? Naz, go for it.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations and welcome to the Human Network UK on this initiative. Really very, very much needed.